the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They run for the first time with Benny Snell. And, oh, right away, he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Madden, 319. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Hey, 88.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, that could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 9 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
Second down toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively, that's Devin Bush making the play. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Noah Spence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, pass.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. Here's Roethlisberger. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's taken in at the 9. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Rodgers over the middle, and it's incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Preston Smith there on the stop. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes.
Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep for Watkins. It's caught inside the 25. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. And that... results in 35 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. You've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Kill, kill, kill. Turn.
On 2nd down, it's Snell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Snell on 3rd down. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron attacking off the edge that time. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, it's Samuels. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
They'll run with Samuels, and he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Tavecchio to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. Second quarter here. He has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking deep for it, and this is caught inside the 5. A big pickup of 38.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again, it's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And that's complete to Adams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw there out to Williams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Jump out! Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Tight end's right.
Rodgers to throw once more. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Hey, 88, 88, 88. 55, Mike 55. Hey, Alpha. Double dog. That's the way. Check, 55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. I'm coming. Look at this.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
Let's go. Interception right there,
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Deshaun Hamilton, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. In that one, all even as they play the visiting Texans. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as the white stuff continues to fall. And for the call of the second half, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Rodgers now to throw. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle, someone to bring more pressure.
70th catch for him on the goes for a first.
The stick's moving.
Trying to run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
People to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Time for the Steelers off of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there.
Going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year as they are able to cut into that lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
This will be fielded at the 8, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out on the ground with Jones, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27th, Rodgers, a dump underneath to Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football.
And this play, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You got 58.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
On second down, here's Rodgers. He's got it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Allen Lazard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before, because that was some adjustments.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat. Complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Rodgers going to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And again, it's Rodgers. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right? And
this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
25 yards that time. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Roethlisberger. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be on. Happy with how that turned out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now
pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Noah Spence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
This is Joe. Won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Mike 50, Mike 50. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Ready. 90 Wolf. Switch up. I got double tight. Double tight. We got 4. We got 4. Get.
And they will take a knee here.
Let's go. Hands over.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the 1st half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the 2nd half.
So for Green Bay, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.